Okay, that's not really their name, but that's what we called them. Typical of Beth on our cruise, we spend our days in port sea kayaking, ice climbing on a glacier, or glacier, as the buckets would call it, and mountain biking. Also, a couple years ago, we were also able to enjoy a cruise to Bermuda with our parents to celebrate my mother's 70th birthday. The highlight of this week was trying to teach our mother how to snorkel. This was a special week for our parents and for Beth and I as well. Later in life, Beth also really got into horse riding. I never really understood this, as I'm not a big fan of horses. Truth be told, I was always kind of scared of them, even though my name Philip means lover of horses. Go figure. I remember actually, I was with Beth the first time we rode a horse. And we were kids, and a friend of our family had some horses. So I was kind of scared, but I wanted to look cool and look like I knew what I was doing. So I put my foot in the stirrup, and I threw my leg on top of the horse with confidence and kept going and landed on the ground on the other side. My sister laughed at me so hard. But really, I'm very glad that Beth enjoyed riding horses, and it really did bring much joy to her life. As people often say in other situations, at least she died doing something she enjoyed. My last conversation with Beth took place about a week before the accident. I was in Napa Valley wine tasting with my friends, and my phone rang, and I almost didn't answer it. I'm so glad I did. While sitting on the terrace of the winery, watching the sun go down, brilliant in golden orange hues, Beth and I spent about 10 minutes getting caught up on our recent trips. A memory I will hold forever. My beautiful sister Beth, I'm going to miss you so much. You were such a special person, and thank you for bringing so much joy to my life, your family's lives, and the lives of everyone gathered here today. Thank you. Can't breathe.
I'm Beth's brother, Paul. Before I get started, I wanted to let everybody know that in late July or early August, we're going to do a memorial hike up to the top of the Rocky Mountains in Estes Park, Colorado. If any friends or family want to start thinking about maybe planning a trip to come up there with us, please do so. I'll have more details on that to come. If Beth had her way, she would prefer to have one of the following famous historical figures giving her eulogy instead of me. Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Barbara Bush or Streisand, Rodney Dangerfield, John Belushi, or John Candy. Living life to its fullest. When I look back on Beth's life, the phrase, living life to its fullest, is the one cliche I can think of to best describe my sister's life. She packed so much into her short life. I don't know anybody who came close to doing as many things as Beth did. Listening to Beth describe everything she did over a weekend would leave you in a state of awe. She was always hopping from one event to another. She also brought a new meaning to the word multitasking. She was always planning several different things while doing several different things at the same time. We all know people in our lives with busy, crazy, and hectic schedules. Beth certainly was at the top of the list in those categories. Despite all of her activities, Beth always took time out to smell the roses. Most people who have crazy schedules are very nervous and always stressed out. Beth, on the other hand, always had a calming effect on people. She had some special ability to make people feel comfortable and at ease. Our family friends Beth and Russ Thomas wrote the following about my sister. It was obvious in talking to Beth that she'd never met a stranger. You felt completely comfortable right away, and it was like you'd known her well for years. The way Beth could connect with people was magical. It didn't matter if you were shy or extroverted, if you were rich or poor, if you were brilliant or not so sharp. She could immediately connect with you. She was so sincere and such a great listener. She took great pleasure in getting to know you in great detail. Many people can smile and walk around their room and talk to lots of people. There's many of those people in town here. But those types of people are typically very shallow. Beth was as far from shallow as anybody can be. As I think back to the week I spent in the hospital, and as I look out across the room today, I think about what was it about Beth that made so many people think so highly of her. From talking to all of her friends, I think I figured it out, at least in my mind, why she had such loyal friends. At the core of what really made Beth the person she was her ability to be there for you. Despite everything going on in her life, she had all the time in the world for you. She made you feel special, and she was so sincere. I've heard countless people talk about how Beth was always there for them. Beth's neighbor, Victoria Pryor, talks about the countless hours that Beth spent with her children, whether it be helping with gardening, playing the piano, or schoolwork. Victoria would frequently get home well after midnight from kidney dialysis, and Beth would always turn on lights for her, or come over and talk for a long time in the wee hours of the morning. I've heard from other people who have gotten injured, and Beth dropped everything to take care of them. I hear the same type of story over and over again. She was a most loyal, thoughtful, and dedicated person that I ever met. Beth always found a way to make it to all of the important, as well as not so important, family functions in my life. My wife Krista and my children, Jack, Sarah, and Ben, could always depend on Aunt Beth to come out and visit. Vacation times are always special in our family. Beth found a way to join us on lots of our vacations, even if it was just for part of the vacation. We had some of our best vacations with Beth in Estes Park, Colorado. Beth would always hang out if Ben wanted to play an extra hour or two of miniature golf. If Jack couldn't get anybody to play tennis with him, Beth would be there. She would do arts and crafts with Sarah. She would also spend countless hours in the pool with the kids. She would always challenge me to go on a long mountain hike. Vacations, traveling, and horseback riding were some of Beth's favorite passions. She flew to most every corner of the world, whether it be traveling to see the wild gorillas in Uganda, hiking Machu Picchu, climbing Mount Fuji, or going to the metropolis of Cheyenne, Wyoming. Beth was always up for a new adventure.